25 minutes to 8. Now, there's a huge restoration project taking place just down the road in Coventry at the moment. It's to basically do up a World War II Dakota plane. Now, it used to be based at Bottisford in Leicestershire in the run-up to D-Day, and essentially now they're trying to make it flight-worthy once again. So we've sent Helen to Coventry. Not the first time, where she's meeting the man behind the restoration. How's it looking, Helen?
This is a giant hangar here in Coventry. You might be able to hear it echo. Yes, I've got a man with a plan next to me here. Charlie Walker, what is your plan for this aircraft in front of us?
Well, the plan is pretty simple, really. It's to restore this C-47 Night Fright that we're stood next to now, and get her flying again. As you can see, it's a big job, but we're getting there.
Can you describe this plane? We're up on some steps, looking inside the hull, and to be honest, it just looks like a shell of a plane to me.
Yeah, I guess to the untrained eye, it does look like a bit of a shell. But you got to imagine and sort of remember the amount of work we've done to this aircraft to get it to this stage. I mean, it arrived here at Coventry sort of just over 18 months ago in 3 or 4 sea freight containers, and it was just a pile of bits. But now it's standing on its own wheels. It's got 2 engines on. Got a lot of work to do inside to restore it back to original sort of wartime configuration. But this aircraft will be flying by the end of the year, and we can't wait. It's really exciting.
OK, flying by the end of the year, you tell me. Just go back in time, 75 years ago. When did this land in Bottisford, just in the Vale of Beaver?
Yeah, so all of the C-47s that came over from the United States would have initially landed at Bottisford in January 1944. I think the 7th of January they landed at Bottisford. So Bottisford was essentially a sort of a reception area or a staging post, if you like, for all of the C-47s. So before they sort of assigned them to their different sort of troop carrier wings and their squadrons, they were all at Bottisford, and they were held there doing some training until they went off to their various different squadrons. I mean, our aircraft, Night Fright, actually went to the 436th Troop Carrier Squadron, which was based in Berkshire at Membry, but they would all have been at Bottisford for a period of sort of 3, 4, 5 months.
And I was having trouble imagining it as an active plane, but you just showed me inside there is still a static line down the middle of the aircraft. And what would it have been like? What would that have been used for?
Oh, there's so much history here. It's amazing, really. So, yeah, as you say, the static line we've already installed it in the rear of the aircraft. So that would have been where the paratroopers would have sat in the aircraft, and then they sort of stand up just shortly before they get to their various drop zones. They attach their parachute to the static line, and then they jump out the door, out the back, and that's what rips their parachute open. So, yeah, an incredible amount of history. I mean, these are the aircraft that carried the 101st Airborne and the Band of Brothers into the D-Day landings.
And what gives you the passion to see this project through? You talked about it was in bits, and now at least it does look like an aircraft.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to resemble an aircraft, and it's a project of passion, there's no question about that. But a number of different things, I guess, really. I mean, this aircraft was based, where it saw combat service from Membry in Berkshire, and our business is based in Membry. So the original plan was to return one of these aircraft back to Membry and give something back to the guys and girls that lost their lives, for our freedom. But, I'm also, I'm into engineering, I'm an aviator, I'm a commercial pilot as well. So it's history, aviation and passion, I guess.
Thank you so much, Charlie, for sharing a little bit of passion with me. This is a fascinating aircraft hangar. The airport isn't in much use, but there's all sorts of planes here. In fact, I must say, through there, is that an old Tiger Moth?
Yeah, there's Gypsy Moth through there, actually. Yeah, there's a Jungmeister in here, Dragon Rapide, lots of classic jets. So there's all sorts of little things tucked away in the corner here.
Ooh, I'm going to have a bit of an explore. This is a paradise if you're interested in history, planes, and the history of Leicestershire. Thank you so much, Charlie.
Thank you, Helen. It's I think one of the most moving things you can see. When there's a great big, sort of an old plane. I remember a Lancaster flew over our village a few years ago before it was retired, and it was part of just a village celebration. It was doing a fly past, but it went really low over the village, and that throbbing engine. And it brought tears to my eyes. There was something so moving about seeing these old planes up in the sky and knowing all the history associated with them. So that is a really, really special project.